Hi guys, welcome to MotorBeam. So we know SUVs and then came compact SUVs and now we have subcompact SUVs. So in 2017, Maruti launched the Ignis and they called it a subcompact SUV. It was actually a hatchback style crossover. Now in 2020 at the Auto Expo, Tata showed the HBX Concept, which was the concept version of the Punch. Now it looked absolutely smashing, and a toned down version of that concept, the Punch, came in 2021. Citroën also launched the C3, and now this segment is getting crowded with Hyundai making an entry with the Exter. And today we're going to talk a lot about it. We're going to talk about how it looks, sit inside. Okay, here we go. Talk about performance, driving dynamics, and do some serious off-roading. No. I'm just kidding about that. The Exter is based on the Grand i10 Nios. Length and wheelbase is the same, but the Exter is wider and taller. Hyundai's parametric design language is seen here on the front grille, C-pillar, and at the back right here. You get these very nice edge signature DRLs with projector headlamps, and you get these very neat looking 15-inch diamond cut alloy wheels. So basically they've transferred the Nios into SUV and they've done it very, very nicely. They've got this high bonnet, forged skid plates at the front and the back, and side cladding above the wheel arches. So to complete the SUV look, you also get a spoiler, you get roof rails and a shark fin antenna, along with signature H tail lamps. So the Grand i10 Nios gets 165 mm of ground clearance. Now obviously to have a SUV feel, you need to raise it a bit. So this gets 185 mm ground clearance. Now obviously, this is not a true blue SUV. So in India, the definition of SUV has changed. A car with high ground clearance is a SUV, and why not? People love to buy these kind of things. The Exter gets an all black layout, which is something I personally prefer. You get this pattern effect on the dashboard, on the door pads right here. The front seats are quite comfortable. You get this two-tone semi-leather seats with these side padding. There is no adjustable headrest here, but otherwise the seat is quite comfortable. Headroom for me is quite good enough. Under thigh support is just about okay. This 8-inch infotainment system gets inbuilt navigation, voice commands, sounds of nature, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and also gets OTA updates for the maps and the system software. You also get BlueLink connected car tech. This 4.2-inch MID over here is quite good, gives you all the information. It gets 12 language support, basically 10 regional languages, 2 international languages. You get multiple voice commands, and they also work in Hindi or other English. So let's just have a look here. Sunroof kholo.
Opening the sunroof.
Works pretty well actually. So on the safety front, Hyundai has gone full out. They are offering 6 airbags across all variants, which is actually a very good move. And besides that, you get ISOFIX child seat mounts. You get 3-point seat belts for all the seats, including seat belt reminders. So that's something very, very good. Other safety features include ESC, which is Electronic Stability Control, VSM, Vehicle Stability Management, and HSA, which is Hill Start Assist. Hyundai is actually loaded, like up to the brim. They've loaded the Exter with features. You get driver side height adjuster, you get cooled glove box, footwell lighting, automatic climate control with rear AC vents. You also get a C-type charging port. You get a USB 3 charging port. You also get a wireless charging port. Basically, all types of charging ports you get in this car. Automatic headlamps with projectors. You get a dash cam with 2 cameras and a time-lapse mode as well. Voice commands, electric folding mirrors, tire pressure monitoring, and obviously you need the sunroof, which is so important in India these days. The rear seat is actually quite comfortable. Lot of room here. Now, under thigh support for my height is usually lacking in most cars, and it's the same case over here. But the seat is reasonably comfortable, good headroom, and Hyundai's done a very smart thing. Like if you see, the rear seat is scooped out. So this is actually in my driving position. I'm 6 foot tall. So here I have definitely good amount of knee room, and some of these rivals, they feel like it's direct rivals. Rear seat is quite lacking on that front. I'm not going to take any names, however. So while the rear seat gets adjustable headrest, you don't actually get a center armrest over here. As compared to the Grand i10 Neos, the boot is now 131 liters larger, which means this has 391 liters of boot space, which is actually very good for a car of its size. So powering the Exter is a 1.2 litre 4-cylinder petrol engine, of course derived from the Neos, which produces 83 PS of power, 114 Newton meters of torque. Now mated to this engine you get two gear options, a 5-speed manual transmission and a 5-speed AMT. Now the manual has spaced out ratios, good enough for most city and highway conditions. So very good on that front. 0 to 100 in just 12.6 seconds. Now, when you talk about the AMT, there's a little bit of a surprise here, because I was really stunned to see that the AMT actually is pretty quick in this car. Like usually AMTs are known to be a little laggy. They have that, that head nod. But the key is that Hyundai is using electronic actuators, which actually send a signal much faster as compared to hydraulic actuators. Okay, too much of science over there. But basically it means, in short, practically, that the shift times are much less. The really surprising part for me is that this car with an AMT gets paddle shifters. So yes, in mass market cars we don't see AMT with paddle shifters, but Hyundai has offered paddle shifters. Now I thought, are they any good or just for show? So now in manual mode AMT, we're going to use the paddle shifters. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. And we go upshift, slight head nod, yes, but it goes there. And we go into third. Now of course I'm going to try to downshift. And you downshift here, and yes, it does much faster than it upshifts. Obviously I'm going to come in first and then go to third gear again. So yes, definitely these paddles are adding an element of fun to this whole picture. Yes, AMTs are a little laggy. This is slightly laggy, but by far in mass market cars, this is the least lag I have seen. And surprisingly, you also get cruise control in this car. So when you talk about performance, now I'm driving the manual over here. The engine loves to be revved. Actually, it doesn't feel like it's going out of breath, out of grunt. You just push it, and it just goes on and on and on. And for a micro SUV segment, I think this car definitely has one of the best performance out there. Somebody had asked me yesterday that why doesn't Hyundai get a 1-litre turbo in this car? Honestly, you don't need it. This 1.2 is good enough. You don't need a turbo. So the manual fuel efficiency as per ARAI is 19.4 kilometers per litre. The AMT is 19.2 kilometers per litre. Not much difference between the two, but practically I think you can anywhere expect between 14 to 15 depending on your driving cycle. There is also a factory fitted CNG option. Yes, a factory fitted CNG option. Now of course with the CNG, the power delivery is lesser than before. So the power delivery is 69 PS of power and 95 Newton meters of torque. But you may feel it's less, but for those who are looking for fuel efficiency, this gives, as per ARI, 27 kilometers per kg, which is roughly, in the real world, you can expect somewhere around 20, which is actually very good. So if you talk about total trims, you get 5 trims for the manual, 4 trims for the AMT and 2 trims for the CNG, which makes it total 11 trims. Now if you consider dual toll options, which are 3, there are total 15 options to choose from, which is quite a lot. So when you talk about driving dynamics, high speed stability is something which is quite good. Like I'm driving around 80 kilometers per hour and the car feels really planted on the road, like no movement here and there. If you see, I've just for a moment left the hands on the steering. Don't do that in the real life. It feels very stable, nothing to complain about, no sideways movement. Body roll almost not there. Basically it's a Grand i10 Neos, so center of gravity is much lower. When you're in the city at low speeds, the steering is very easily maneuverable. It's very light. You can move it around here and there. You can literally cut through the traffic. No issues at all. On the highway, it feels very stable. So on both the fronts, it feels very sorted. Now let's talk about ride quality. So at high speeds, no complaints at all. At low speeds, over potholes, the cabin gets it doesn't get really affected. The filters very well. Braking performance is also pretty good, reasonable, and Hyundai claims that the braking performance of this car is the segment best. I mean, I can't say for now whether it's the segment best, but yes, there was absolutely nothing to complain about. So pretty sorted when it comes to the driving dynamics. Hyundai seems to have done a great job with the Exter. The Exter offers a perfect blend between performance, fuel efficiency. It also gets an AMT which isn't as laggy and also has a CNG option. Now priced between 7.13 to 12.08 lakhs on road Mumbai, this car actually gives you everything which its rivals don't. So I think the Exter right here very soon is going to rule the micro SUV segment. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, share and comment and tell me, बताओ मुझे comment section में क्या इस गाड़ी में है punch? So on the safety front, Hyundai is offering 6 airbags across all variants. Now that's a very good mood बोल रहा हूँ I like this AC vent यार, ये मस्त लग रहा है. कहीं देखा हुआ है ना? This is something similar to what we get somewhere in some premium cars. Audi? Mercedes ना? हाँ, I thought only, but it looks nice.